Hi, it's story time, and I just have a few minutes and I just wanted to share a story and hope that we can all draw valuable lessons from it. There was a young girl, and before I continue with this story, I just want to put it out there that whoever the story is about has given consent for this story to be told. The person who told me this story has given me consent to tell you the story. Okay? The story is about a young girl who was a single or only child to her mom. Her parents separated and got divorced after she was born. So the mom, who was a medic, single handedly raised this young girl. She was very brilliant at school, so she got a lot of scholarships along the way to help her mom to raise her and put her through education. She got into tertiary education, and while she was in her first year in university, she meets this guy in his final year in university. They start talking and fall in love, and they're in a relationship. This relationship goes on for 6 years. Everybody who knows this girl got to know this boyfriend of hers, including her mom. Her mom had suffered so much along the way to raise this girl and to give her the education that she had come to have, taking out loans, borrowing money, because their salary wasn't that much even as a medic in their home country. Now she'd been with this guy for a long time. Marriage seemed to be the next, normal trajectory to them, their relationship, and they had talked about it and were making plans towards it. The guy, by the sixth year, had finished tertiary education and had been working in a bank for quite some time. He'd gone on to rent a very nice apartment. And over the weekends, he would come to the school, pick up this young girl, and they go spend the weekend together. If the mom calls the daughter and can't get hold of her, next the person to call is the boyfriend, and 9 times out of 10, that's where she is. Very close. Everybody who knew her knew they were together, inseparable, happy couple, and everybody thought that she was a lucky girl. When they started talking about getting married, this girl had also finished school and done a master's and had even started working. But every single cent of money that she got, she put into a joint account that she had opened with this guy towards their marriage. They started saving very seriously for this marriage. Now it so happens that one weekend, the guy, as normal, picked her up from the mom's place and they went to spend the weekend at his apartment. And when they left, the girl says they went home, they cooked, they ate, they watched movies and fell asleep. At dawn, the next day being the Saturday, the guy says to her in bed, "Hey, Han, I have to go to work. It's my turn to go open the bank. There's some people that I have to give monies to. I'll be back later," and leaves. Now, when the guy left, according to the girl, she had a horrible dream. And in the dream, something had happened to him, and it was really weird. But she couldn't really understand what was happening. She got up, prayed about it, and just, carried on with her day. Then, the apartment that they had a balcony, and every apartment next door on the side, the other side of it, they all had balconies. So when you're standing in your balcony, you can see the neighbor in their balcony if they're in there too. So the next door neighbor happened to be this older woman. And so when she saw the young girl, she said, "Oh, I haven't seen you here for a very long time. I hope you're well, and I hope your brother is doing well." And she says, "Well, he's not my brother. He's my boyfriend. Like, I've been here, coming here all this time." The woman was quite taken aback because the guy had sent or given her wedding invitations that had the pictures of the people getting married, and the lady or the bride to be did not look like that girl. But she said, What are you saying? Because I'm just getting ready to go to the wedding. Your boyfriend or whatever dropped off a wedding invitation, and we're all getting ready to go for the wedding. The girl could not believe her eyes, or ears. So the woman said, "Get ready. If you don't believe me, get ready and I'll take you. We'll all go." Lo and behold, they get to the church, and this same boyfriend of hers who said that he was going to give out money in the bank was stood up there in the front of a church in a suit, marrying another girl. Obviously, the shock of it all. This girl became hysterical. She was sat in the far back of the church, started screaming and all of that, and she was carried out of the church in order not to disrupt the ceremony. Some of the people then knew where she was living, and they sent her to her mom. She locks herself up in a room and for days wouldn't talk to anybody. The mom started to get concerned, and they got the neighbors and they broke into her bedroom, brought the door down completely, brought her out and forced her to speak. Crying, screaming, wailing and all of that. She tells the story. The mom says, don't worry about it. These things happen. Yeah, I know. 6 years. You've given your heart to him. You've invested so much in this relationship. I understand that you're feeling this way, but I pray that God will give you your rest and you'd find somebody else. Okay? Just let him be. It's fine. The girl says, look, the thing that hurts me the most is that I have a joint account with him. I have money saved up. And I've never spent a dime of my money on myself, and I want this money back. The mom says, don't worry, the next possible working day would go to the bank and you can take your own half of the money. Calculate how much you've put in there. Take your money and just let him be. The Monday comes, they go, get to the bank, gives the account number, and all the funds in the account had been withdrawn and the account closed. The girl, on hearing this, suffers a massive heart attack from the shock of everything right there in the banking hall. And by the time they could get her to the hospital, she died. She was only 26, 27, and she passed away. This was her mom's only child. She'd invested her whole life's money and was still paying debts because of this young lady's education, and she had passed away. Okay? This guy had married somebody else and then taken his wife with this deceased girl's money, and they had gone to some luxurious exotic place for honeymoon. When he came back, he heard about the girl's passing and has the nerve and infantry to come to the funeral with his now wife, and they were lynched. Stones, name it, everything. They managed to get away, and that was the end of that. But the moral of this story for me is that, and I say this all the time, it's not a secret that, there is no art to tell the mind's construction in the face. Perhaps there's nothing that could have been done to stop what this guy did. The fact that, he was in a relationship with her for all this time and decided to commit this kind of atrocity to her. It can't be avoided. But I believe that is also not a good enough reason for us to close ourselves off and not want to open up our hearts to love somebody. Love, but love with your head. One thing that I will never do is to have a joint account with a man whereby monies are going in, and this is money that can be saved up for a set thing that this guy has the potential of taking and fleeing with. I know that every family have their own dynamic, and I'm not here to prescribe what works for you, but Boyfriend, girlfriend have no business having joint accounts. That's the first thing. It's no commitment, there's no guarantees, you can do what you like. Okay? But even in marriage, and I always preach preservation, because you don't know what people are capable of doing. There's nothing wrong. I know, and I've heard about people who have a joint account, and at the end of the month, each person puts a set amount of money into that account, and that account then becomes the account that the couple would use to pay their bills. That I can understand. Okay, if that works for you, that is fine. But to then have a joint account that monies are going into, when there is no art to tell the mind's construction in the face. You see, sometimes when money gets involved, people become very different people. I don't know what it is about money, but money makes people go crazy and do crazy things. It is always often said that you never really, truly, fully know somebody until there's money. A man or woman will sit with you and lick your ass until there's wealth. And then you really know the character of the person that you think you've known all these years. My advice is always preaching preservation. Oh, and Sika, why do you say all these things? And why do you do that? Because I want you to preserve your life, and I want you to preserve all the hard work that you have done. Why can't you have a savings account of your own and manage your own money and be the custodian of your own money? Whatever account you choose to have all your outgoings come out of does not have to be a joint account. It can just be an account that you both put monies to that goes to pay the bills. And plus, even in that case, if you put monies in and you notice that the other partner isn't doing the same, that is a time for you to now sit down and say, look, let's divvy up the bills. You pay the mortgage, I pay all the utilities. You do this and I do that. Have a system that works for you, but all I'm saying is that any money that you're investing or saving that could potentially lead to you losing your mind and your life, make sure that you're the sole person that has the authority and in charge of managing that money. That is me. You do what works best for you. But for me, it's all about preservation. Loving somebody with your heart doesn't mean you have to be stupid. That is my opinion, and I'm entitled to that opinion. You do what works best for you and learn the valuable lessons out of this. But always remember, as Macbeth says, there is no art to tell the mind's construction in the face. My name is Sika. I love you so much. Have a fantastic day. God bless you. Stay beautiful and look after yourself. Okay? Bye.